For Richtofen's childhood, I'm going to skip over the Black Ops 4 Aether 2 Dark Aether universe. All you need to know is this Richtofen from Black Ops 4 is this Richtofen from Black Ops 6 and Cold War. After going into the new universe with Samantha, at some point they split up and Eddie was put into an orphanage and found by Gabriel Croft in Berlin on October 8th, 1945.
So I went to an orphanage in the city today. For Sasha. There was a boy. A sickly, starved thing like all the rest, maybe 10 years old, but there was something in his eyes. His name, Edward, is the only thing he has left. My adopted son. I don't know what comes next. But we're in this together now, my Eddie and I. For better or for worse.
So Gabriel Croft adopts Edward Richtofen and starts to realize there's something wrong with him that isn't exactly normal.
The boy is having nightmares again. The terrible things. He wakes drenched in sweat, screaming that it's his turn. He does not remember in the morning. I am beginning to wonder if he is actually taking the pills or if he is just lying to me.
The event Eddie is having a nightmare of is actually the Origins Easter egg cutscene. In the cutscene, Samantha and Eddie are playing with toys, and Eddie thinks it's unfair because he wants a turn, and Samantha is not allowing it.
Put the toys away, children. Make sure the windows are locked before you come down to the basement.
We'd better do what your dad says. I didn't even get my turn.
Edward Richtofen is starting to regain his memories. Edward grew up in the United States with Gabriel Croft working on MK Ultra, and eventually Edward met a woman named Mary and had a son named Samuel. Unfortunately for Eddie, in 1981, Weaver and Samantha Maxis attempted to assassinate him and burn down his house to cover all traces. Richtofen survived this assassination attempt, and unfortunately, his wife Mary and his son Samuel burned in the house that Weaver set on fire. We learn from the Liberty Falls intro cutscene that Richtofen actually has severe PTSD from this moment.
Fire! Run! For God's sakes! Run!
The death of his family would send Richtofen into a spiral of wanting revenge. He would join the CIA and start a cover mission and create the organization called Requiem to attempt to revive his family via science. Now under Requiem, Richtofen would use a code name of the Director. At some point during Cold War, Eddie would speak to Omega Group lead scientist William Peck, who was a former United States defect. Eddie would now manipulate William Peck to now make Omega Group also do his bidding. At some point, he catches wind of Dark Aether and an Elder God known as the Forsaken. During Firebase Z, Sam would be spying on Omega Group, which is now in Vietnam, and Richtofen would straight up tell Omega Group, throw her into the Dark Aether, and that's exactly what they do. Now, Requiem would swoop in, save Samantha Maxis, and due to her thinking she caused the outbreak in Vietnam, Requiem would contain Samantha Maxis and then be watched by her brother Eddie. Richtofen's plan of containing Samantha Maxis and having Weaver under his thumb in Requiem is going perfectly. Now he just needs to get the power from the Forsaken, which is exactly what he does. Samantha Maxis frees herself from containment, and Omega Group frees the Forsaken, which is all going to Richtofen's plan. Samantha Maxis sacrifices herself to kill the Forsaken, and Richtofen, using a sphere, contains the Forsaken and starts to use it as a power source. Now we're in the Black Ops 6 era of Richtofen's story, and it gets a lot worse from here. It starts off with him creating Project Janus. Now, Project Janus was kind of like the Hail Mary in attempts to revive his family, and it all starts Dr. Modi on Terminus Island. The original use for Terminus Island was to clone his son Samuel, who he still had DNA samples of. At first, the clone was successful, but over time it started to become less human-like, and Richtofen himself had to kill the clone of his son.
When Modi told me the new clone experiment had been successful, I was eager to see him for myself. That was foolish of me. His skin was thin, pale, sallow, but I still clung to hope. But this fragile vessel soon became a mere shadow of the boy. The soul I had hoped for.
Yet again, Richtofen started to get desperate.
Perhaps it is time to talk to my own father and take his methodology more seriously.
Richtofen has always been a man of science. He was always interested in science, but his father, Gabriel Croft, was a demonologist. He studied pseudoscience, and Richtofen knew that this is where he had to go next.
I remember little of my early years, but I do know that the man who raised me was Gabriel Croft, my father. My memories are indistinct. I was not always a good listener, but he told tales of magic, superstition, and demons. I wanted only to believe in science, in fact. But now, having learned of the existence of his so-called prima materia within Colton Horror's liminal spaces, I may have to reconsider my rigid viewpoint. My rules.
Thus, Richtofen starts learning about prima materia and the Sentinel artifact. And from there, the rest is history. The crew breaks out of Terminus Island, the SAM AI betrays Richtofen, traps him in the dark aether, and now we have lost the Sentinel artifact to the SAM AI and ruined Richtofen's chances to get back his family. The whole time we thought Richtofen was evil and trying to use the Sentinel artifact for malicious intent. He was just trying to bring back his dead family that the main character, Weaver, and Samantha Maxis killed. You can tell from the intel in the entirety of Black Ops 6, Richtofen is destroyed mentally. In some intel, he's drinking heavily, talking to his dog, self-reflecting, crying, breaking down in some of them. In the cutscenes, he's having PTSD and really to the point where he's just doing anything it takes to bring his family back. And it's awful to listen to and to watch. And the real nail in the coffin is the main crew we play as in Black Ops 6 is doing whatever it takes to stop him from doing this. With Richtofen being my favorite character in the entire Black Ops series, this character really sticks with me. Although I love the Black Ops 4, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, the zesty Richtofen, which has funny moments, this iteration of Richtofen feels a lot more human. I feel a lot more connected to this version with him going through all the trauma and the whole story. And it really makes such a good character. All I hope for this character is he gets his happy ending. Will he get his family back? Will he just die, grow old with his family? We don't know. I just hope that Richtofen fans, including me, get the happy ending we deserve with this character.